Hi, this is Len Furman, the sports time traveler, with a very short flash article today. The title is Babe Ruth Sets a Record and the Yanks Are Back in First. Subtitle: The 1924 American League pennant race is shaping up to be a classic. New York, Friday, August 1st, 1924. The American League pennant race is providing great entertainment for sports fans here in 1924, and the sports time traveler is following it all virtually day by day, precisely 100 years back in time. It's particularly exciting because three of the game's all time greatest players, Babe Ruth of the Yankees, Walter Johnson of the Senators, and Ty Cobb of the Tigers, are each having sensational seasons and have their teams all battling for first place on this date, August 1st, the traditional start of the pennant races. We'll start with Babe Ruth and the Yankees, who are presently in first place with a record of 57 and 43. The Yanks are the defending 1923 world champions and have won three straight pennants. They have led most of the season, and they led most of the season until mid-June, when the Senators stunned them by taking four straight games at Yankee Stadium to vault the Senators into first. But now, thanks in large part to the Bambino, Babe Ruth, the Yanks have retaken first place by a half game. Just over a week ago, on July 23rd, Ruth hit a home run leading off the 11th to beat the Tigers in Yankee Stadium. Marshall Hunt, writing in the New York Daily News, captured the moment for posterity with this fine piece of writing. Picture the setting, the circumstances, the immensity of a dramatic situation as shadows were stealing far across the verdant field within the stadium. The score in the last half of the 11th inning of a game between the Yankees and Detroit was tied at 3. You know how it sounds when Babe hits a home run. You can tell the instant of impact. Yes, indeed. 29 home runs for the Babe, a Yankee victory 4-3. 3 days later, last Saturday afternoon, Ruth did it again. The Sultan of SWAT slugged a home run leading off the 14th inning to deliver a victory for the Bronx Bombers in the south side of Chicago. The headline in the Chicago Tribune by Irving Vaughn said it all. 25,000 fans see Babe bring end to hectic game. This past Monday, Ruth hit a run scoring double and a 3-run homer, all in the first inning of a game. It was part of a record 10-run barrage, something no sports writer here in Gotham believes has ever been done before to start a big league game. It turned out the Yanks needed all those runs as they narrowly nicked the White Sox 12-10. On Tuesday, Ruth hit another 3-run homer in the 5th inning against the White Sox that provided the winning margin yet again. And yesterday afternoon in St. Louis, he smashed his 14th home run of the month. That broke his own all-time single-month record. Ruth now has a major league leading 33 home runs and tops all American League batters at 389. The Yonkers Herald Statesman celebrated Ruth's record with this article, in which they predict that he might be on his way to a new season record of 60. And in the written version of the Substack article, I have the entire article from the Yonkers Herald Statesman. I'll just read the first couple of paragraphs. The title is Ruth Breaks Month Record for Home Runs. The writer is Frank Getty of United Press Staff Correspondence. Records, said Babe Ruth, were made to be broken, and breaking them is something the Bambino does little else but. He broke another one yesterday out in hot St. Louis, where he hit his 14th homer of the month of July, more four-ply smacks in a month's span than were smacked before in the history of modern baseball. In 1921, during June, he hit 13 homers. Now we move on to Walter Johnson and the Senators, who are in second place with a record of 56 and 43. Walter the Big Train Johnson has had a resurgence this season, his 18th year pitching for Washington. The Senators are 13 and 8 in games he started, and he's already thrown 4 shutouts. When the Senators moved into first place in late June, it marked the first time in franchise history and in the entire career of Walter Johnson that the Senators had held first place during the summer. They were knocked out of first by the Tigers in mid July, but they've pulled back in front of Detroit, although they still trail the Yankees by a half game. Johnson's impact on his team has been bigger than his numbers indicate. The team is rallying around their grand old man in hopes that he just might get to pitch in a World Series for once in his career. And no better a sportsman than Babe Ruth himself recently declared, quote, Johnson is still king, in a syndicated article that has been running in newspapers across the country this week. And in the Substack written version of the article, I have posted the article as it appeared today, August 1st, 1924, in the Journal in Meriden, Connecticut. The title is Johnson is Still King, says Ruth. And the first couple of paragraphs read, Walter Johnson is a far better pitcher today than when I broke into the American League, says Babe Ruth, champion slugger of the universe. When I first faced Johnson, he was a speedball pitcher, pure and simple, continued Ruth. Now no pitcher in the American League mixes them up better than Walter Johnson. And finally, we finish with Ty Cobb and the Tigers, who are in third place at 55 and 43. Ty Cobb specializes not in sportsmanship, but gamesmanship. He looks for any way he can to pulverize an opponent. Only one player in baseball has been in the major leagues longer than Walter Johnson's 18 seasons, and that's Ty Cobb, now in his 20th year with Detroit. But Cobb didn't look like a 20th year player back in April when he hit .434 in 13 games to start the season. Since then, he's cooled off, but he's still hitting .336. He's not just the leader of the Tigers team on the field, he has been doing double duty as Detroit manager since 1921. After a fast start, helped by Cobb's hitting, the Tigers were in first place at the close of April. Then they slid to fourth and were just at 500 in mid-May at 15 and 15. But in mid-July, they went on a rampage, winning 10 of 11. And like the Senators did in June, the Tigers leveraged a victory at Yankee Stadium on July 22nd to claw their way back into first. However, 4 losses in their last 5 games, including 2 yesterday to the Senators, have left the Tigers a game out of first. American League standings. Here are the complete American League standings as of this morning, August 1st, 1924. First place, New York Yankees, 57 and 43. Second place, Washington Senators, 56 and 43. Third place, Detroit Tigers, 55 and 43. Fourth place, St. Louis Browns, 49 and 47. Fifth place, Chicago White Sox, 47 and 51. Sixth place, Cleveland Indians, 46 and 53. Seventh place, Boston Red Sox, 43 and 54. And eighth and last place, the Philadelphia Athletics at 40 and 59. The top 3 teams, the Yankees, the Senators, and the Tigers, are all tied in the loss column with 43. It's looking like an exciting final 2 months of the season ahead of us. The Sports Time Traveler will be following it in newspapers every day and reporting back to you when there is something so exciting, I just have to share it. Thanks for listening, and please share the Sports Time Traveler.